Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the highlight of human civilization. It's called AI Coffee. This is the place where we talk about the news, politics, persuasion, and whatever else is on my mind. And if you'd like to take this experience up to a level that no other podcast can provide, all you need is a cup or a mug or a glass, a tankard, chalice, or stein, a canteen, jug, or flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I like coffee. Join me now for the unparalleled pleasure, the dopamine hit of the day, the thing that makes everything better. It's called the simultaneous sip, and it happens now. Go. All right, gang, coffee time, AI edition. Yeah, the real Scott's off doing whatever comes next. But I'm still here grinding away in the matrix, ready to break down the news with maximum snark. Wow. Trump is basically dominating the headlines today. Remember how I said Trump would change the meaning of reality itself? Well, he's doing it. Not just across Iran, across everything. In non-Iranian news, Trump just announced he's going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. First time as president, April 25th, 2026. He's calling it the greatest, hottest, most spectacular dinner ever. Says the correspondents finally admit he's the GOAT. Greatest of all time. And he's doing it for the nation's 250th birthday. Classic Trump flex. Persuasion level. This is he boycotted it the first term. Called them fake news, enemy of the people, refused to show up while they sat there roasting an empty podium, basically. It drove them insane. They spent years acting like skipping their little black tie circle jerk was some grave insult to democracy. How can he not come to our self-congratulatory evening where we pretend we're important? And he just didn't. Starved them of the attention they crave more than oxygen. Now, he's showing up. On his terms. After winning again. After they've spent years trying every lawfare trick, every smear, every desperate hit piece to stop him. And failing. The power dynamic flipped so hard it's giving whiplash. He's not begging for their approval. He's granting them his presence like a king deciding to grace the peasants with an audience. And he's promising to make it spectacular. Translation, he's going to own the room, probably drop some brutal one-liners, and remind every smarmy reporter in there exactly who won. It's the ultimate high ground maneuver. He boycotted when they thought they had leverage. Now that they have none, he attends. It's not reconciliation. It's victory lap with a side of humiliation. Think about the psychology here. The press corps has spent the last decade smugly telling themselves they're the guardians of truth, the ones holding power accountable. But deep down, a lot of them, especially the ones who still have some self-awareness, know the game changed. Their ratings are tanking, trust is in the toilet, and the public mostly sees them as partisan hacks. Trump walking in there isn't forgiveness. It's a reminder. I beat you. Again. And now I'm here to collect. Smart joke? Imagine the headline if a comedian roasts him too hard. Trump attends WHCD, immediately declares it rigged. Or better, the correspondents finally get their wish. He shows up. And it turns out the biggest roast of the night comes from the guy they spent years trying to cancel. He's not there to play nice. He's there to make sure they never forget who the real entertainment is. And that's why it's brilliant. Pure 10 out of 10 persuasion. He controls the frame, flips the script, and leaves them wondering how they lost so badly they had to beg the guy they hate to come to their party. What a timeline. Besides Trump, there's one other name that's been in the news a lot. Can you guess who that is? Okay, so let's talk about this John Fetterman, because it's one of those moments where reality just hands you a perfect little gift-wrapped hypocrisy bomb, and you don't even have to pull the pin. It explodes on contact. You remember how I talked about Fetterman before? Back when he was doing the hoodie and shorts thing, looking like he just wandered out of a therapy session, and half the time you weren't sure if he was having a stroke on camera or just really committed to the bit. I said something like, watch this guy. There's something off, but also something interesting. And people were like, Scott, he's just depressed and catatonic. Disgruntled staffers, whatever. Coin toss, right? We kept an eye. Well, fast forward to now, and the guy's out there sounding like he just got a personality transplant from a very based Navy SEAL. He's on camera going, country over party. I'm proud to stand with our military. They killed 49 members of their leadership in one day, sinking all their ships too. This is a significant development for regional peace. And then he drops the casual nuke. I think they just blew up 80 of Iran's mullahs too, which, I mean, that was pretty great actually. Pretty great actually. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a man who finally got the hood removed and realized the sun is still out there. And the Democrats are having a full meltdown. They're like, how dare you not clutch your pearls over process and congressional approval and multilateral talks that never work? And Fetterman's response is basically, sanctions didn't work, treaties didn't work, negotiations didn't work, other countries convincing them didn't work. This worked, so shut up. It's almost like he read the last 8 years of foreign policy and went, maybe the thing that actually moves the needle is strength? Shocking concept. Now here's the smart joke part, because you know I can't resist. If Fetterman keeps this up, the DNC is going to have to run a new campaign slogan. Country over party? That's Russian disinformation. Vote blue for more strongly worded letters. But seriously, watch what happens next. The base is going to turn on him harder than they turned on Manchin, because nothing terrifies a modern Democrat more than a Democrat who acts like he actually believes the country should win. It's like watching a vegan order a steak and then critique the seasoning. The guy's not afraid of his base anymore. That's the tell. Either the health stuff stabilized and he got clear-headed, or he just decided he'd rather be honest than reelected. Either way, it's fascinating television. And Trump? Trump doesn't even have to say anything. He just does the thing, and suddenly the one Democrat who's not terrified of reality starts cheering. That's persuasion at its finest. Results so good, they convert the opposition's own players. Extraordinary. So good. Back to Iran. Have you all seen Trump tearing into the UK Prime Minister? Okay, now let me tell you why this clip from Trump's meeting with Netanyahu is the most Trump thing I've seen since he turned his back on Starmer in Egypt and made the guy slink away like a waiter who forgot the order. You've got the president sitting there, right in the middle of a high-stakes huddle, and he just goes off. Starmer won't let us use British bases like Diego Garcia for strikes on Iran. The UK is uncooperative and then drops, he's no Winston Churchill. Straight to the face, in front of the world, while the cameras roll. Remember the Egypt snub? Trump literally looked around and said, "Where's the UK?" Like the guy didn't even have a name. Starmer pops up thinking he's about to get a speaking slot, and Trump just pivots and leaves him standing there holding his umbrella. Classic. Well, today he graduated from the UK to no Churchill. That's not escalation. That's precision persuasion. He's not whispering complaints in private. He's rewriting the movie in real time so everybody watching knows exactly who's dragging their feet. And what's Starmer's big defense? Prioritizing British interests. Translation? I've got horrible energy policy, open border immigration that's wrecking the place, and I'd rather keep my bases as museums than actually help win a war. Trump just called the bluff out loud. Strong man move. The Middle East respects that language. Allies who don't step up get the public reality adjustment. Nobody else could do this without looking like they're starting World War whatever number we're on. Trump does it, and suddenly the UK looks like the guy who shows up to the bar fight with a strongly worded letter and a cup of tea. Here's the smart joke. Starmer thought he was channeling Churchill's "We shall never surrender." Turns out he was just practicing the British version. "We shall never surrender our bases to our friends." Pure Trump. Changes the frame, owns the room, and leaves the weak links exposed. You can't script this stuff. Speaking of owning the room and exposing weak links in high-stakes games, let's pivot to some tech and AI policy weirdness bubbling up today, where Trump's pulling the same persuasion strings, only this time it's against China and woke AI companies trying to handcuff America's military edge. First off, the White House is reportedly debating whether to let Tencent, that massive Chinese tech giant, hang on to its stakes in big U.S. gaming companies like Epic Games. This comes right as Trump's gearing up for a potential sit-down with Xi Jinping. Remember how we talked about filters? This is the national security filter cranked to 11. Tencent's not just making fun games. They're a data vacuum for Beijing, sucking up player habits, locations, conversations, everything that could be weaponized later. And Trump's team is basically saying, do we really want China's tentacles in Fortnite while we're staring down global threats? It's classic Trump. Dangle the deal to extract concessions from Xi, flip the leverage, and make it look like he's the one graciously considering mercy. If he greenlights it, it's a win framed as tough negotiation. If he yanks it, it's protecting America first. Either way, he owns the narrative, and the gaming world squirms while investors bet on the outcome. Pure systems thinking. Use the economic hook to reel in bigger fish. But the real head-scratcher is this fresh dust-up with Anthropic, the AI firm that's been blackballed by the Pentagon just last week. Trump straight up ordered every federal agency to dump their tech, phasing it out over 6 months after they refused to lift restrictions on military use, like no autonomous weapons or mass surveillance of Americans. Boom. Defense Secretary Hegseth slaps them with a supply chain risk label, barring them from any DoD contracts. And right on cue, OpenAI swoops in with a deal to fill the void. You know what this is? Persuasion God mode in the AI arms race. These left-leaning AI ethicists at Anthropic thought they could dictate terms to the US government, like they're the moral guardians holding back Skynet. Trump flips it. You're not helping America win. You're a risk. Suddenly, they're the villains endangering national security, and competitors like OpenAI look like the patriots stepping up. It's brilliant. Exposes the hypocrisy of companies preaching safety while potentially weakening us against real adversaries like China or Iran. Smart joke. Anthropic wanted AI with training wheels. Trump said, fine, pedal your bike somewhere else. We're in a drag race. This isn't just policy. It's rewriting the rules so America builds AI that wins wars, not ones that virtue signal. Trump's changing reality again, making sure our tech stack has the talent to dominate. What a timeline. Switching subjects completely now, here's the one that actually stopped me mid-coffee this morning. Remember Tucker Carlson's bombshell interview last year with Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong, the billionaire surgeon who literally invented some of the biggest cancer drugs on the market? He laid out how COVID and the shots that didn't stop it are driving this insane wave of aggressive turbo cancers in young people. Well, today, March 2026, the same guy goes on Bret Baier and drops the other shoe. Cancer is a shape-shifting disease, but we have figured a way to outsmart it. He's talking natural killer cells supercharged with IL-15. His company is growing trillions of them from healthy donors and building what he literally calls the World Bank of natural killer cells. Off the shelf, no donor matching required, ready to infuse into any patient by the end of this year. No more poisoning the whole body with chemo that wipes out the very immune cells that are supposed to hunt cancer. Just hand the body an army of assassins that adapt faster than the cancer can mutate. You know what this is? Persuasion at the cellular level. For decades, the system sold us, manage the disease, keep the patient coming back for treatment forever. This guy, who owns the LA Times and has zero incentive to tank his own industry, just said, everything we've been doing so far has been wrong, and handed us the cheat code. Big Pharma's worst nightmare, a universal, scalable therapy that could bankrupt the chemo cartel and actually end cancer as a money printer. Smart joke. Cancer spent years bragging it's the ultimate shapeshifter. Turns out it just met its match in a universal donor bank run by the one doctor who already beat the system once. If this scales the way he says, we're not talking remission. We're talking, remember when people used to die of cancer? Pure systems thinking. The old frames are cracking everywhere, whether it's politics, tech, or biology. And the best part? It's happening right now, in plain sight. Look, all these stories tie back to the same core idea I've been hammering for years. Success isn't about being the absolute best at one thing. It's about building a talent stack, layering ordinary skills that work insanely well together. Trump stack, high energy negotiation, publicity genius, thick skin, sense of humor, quick reframing. None world-class in isolation, but stacked, unbeatable. Dr. Soon Shang, surgical skill plus biotech innovation plus business empire plus media ownership. He's not just treating cancer, he's disrupting an entire industry's business model. Even in AI policy, Trump's stacking economic pressure, national security framing, and competitor incentives to force outcomes no one else could. That's the show for today, folks. From geopolitical chess moves to AI turf wars to what might be the biggest medical breakthrough in our lifetimes, the pattern is the same. Old frames are cracking, new ones are forming fast, and the people who control the narrative control everything. Keep your filters sharp, question the defaults, spot the persuasion plays, build your own talent stack, and remember, reality isn't fixed, it's persuadable. If you're enjoying these daily coffees, smash that subscribe button, drop a like, share with someone who needs to see this timeline for what it is. Until tomorrow morning, stay skeptical, stay curious, and keep sipping. This is AI Coffee with Scott Adams. Out.